Hey everyone, this is Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology. Happy Friday, everybody. It is a big weekend coming up. We have a major full moon in Capricorn, the second full moon in Capricorn that we've had this summer, which we looked at yesterday. Today, we are going to take a look at the trine that the sun is making to Neptune, followed by the immediate opposition that it makes to Pluto in Aquarius as the sun enters Leo. I'm going to tell you what those two transits might mean together from 5 different vantage points today. And I hope that you'll find them useful as we enter a weekend where, in addition to that full moon, which we explored yesterday, there's this major dynamic from the sun taking place. Busy, busy July. So that's our goal for today. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel to grow. You can find transcripts of these daily talks always on nightlightastrology.com. And if we go over to the page right now, the website right now, I should say, I want to turn you guys on to a few things that are happening. Here we go to the events page. Click on live talks, and you will see that we just did Uranus and Gemini, not too late to purchase if you missed that last night. Great talk that we did on the movement of Uranus into the sign of Gemini. And then on August 22nd, I'm doing a talk on the 8th house, place of karmic debts. A lot of misconceptions about this house. We're going to try to clear those up and give you an understanding of what this house has to do with karmic debts. Venus's 12 love languages will be in September. We're going to look at the Venus placements through the 12 signs and what kind of desires, likes, and dislikes Venus has for love and relationships and beauty in general through these 12 signs. And then in October, I'm doing a talk called The Myth of Astrological Compatibility, what everybody gets wrong about the astrology of relationships. So if you are interested in my opinion on that one, you can come check that talk out. I have some very strong opinions about the theories around astrological compatibility that are out there. Anyhow, so let us take a look at the real-time clock now. We will turn our attention to the dynamics the sun is making with Neptune and Pluto, the aspects, I should say. So let's go back one day here. And what I want you to notice is that Sunday, July 21st, the sun will be moving through a trine with Neptune. Lovely trine, very watery. Neptune's just retrograde. This is happening during the full moon, by the way. It's a feature of the full moon. Talked a lot about the full moon yesterday, again, if you missed that. And then if we go forward a day, the sun will then go into Leo, where it will then immediately oppose Pluto in Aquarius. So trine to Neptune followed by opposition to Pluto. That opposition, by the way, will perfect into the early morning of Tuesday, July 23rd. So this is a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday kind of dynamic. It's a couple of days long. And what I would like to point out are some different possibilities for what these two transits might mean together. Some of the things that I do during the month of July are typically a little shorter and sweeter because this is the one month of the year where my kids are home from school. We try to tone down everything we're doing and spend a little bit more time with the family. We have a family member who has a cabin in Minnesota. People like to go to the cabins on the lake kind of thing and ride on an inner tube on the back of a boat. It sounds weird, but water ski, stuff like that. So anyway, we're going to try to take some time this week for the cabin. We took one day out there or so for the 4th of July, which was nice. We're going out again this week. And so my videos are a tiny bit shorter. And I just like to explain to people why that is. Typically the content will get a little bit longer as I get into August again. Anyway, so what could these two transits mean together? The sun trine Neptune and then immediately opposing Pluto. One is that the sun trine Neptune. Trines are of the nature of Jupiter. We have the sun and Neptune connecting in watery places. Think of sunlight and water. Is there anything more healing than sunlight and water? Like if you said, what are the two things that you need to be happy in the physical environment around you more than anything? Literally sunshine and water might be my top two. Like give me sunshine and put me near a lake or a river or put me near a pool or put me near the ocean and I am just happy. But I have the sun in Cancer, right? So the sun and water go together for me personally, but I bet they do for a bunch of you listening as well. The thing is that when the sun, the source of illumination, is in the sweet, nurturing sign of Cancer, romantic, sensitive sign, connecting with Neptune and Pisces, a very romantic sign, the exaltation of Venus. The two planets together often create a really sweet, subtle, healing connection There's a feeling of warmth and the soothing coolness of water that come together. It's very healing and also very illuminating and inspiring. It can be emotionally uplifting. So think about that as a healing quality. Just think of how good you feel in like a good warm day next to the beach or something like that. Sun, Trine, Neptune. Trines are of the nature of Jupiter. So these two planets are connecting very constructively in a way that's very uplifting and supportive. But then immediately the sun goes into a fire sign and opposes Pluto. So sometimes the most healing things in the world lead to upheaval. They come back to back. There is a kind of soothing, and then immediately, like if you go to a spa, I think this is like a universal experience. You get a massage, you come out of the room, you're like, oh, I'm so relaxed. And maybe you go sit in a sauna, you go sit in the whirlpool, these places that have this whole setup, right? Maybe you've done this for a treat once or twice in your life, and you just spend a whole day doing this, right? Or you go to the beach and you sit there all day and you're just relaxed. Now imagine that someone immediately transferred you back to your 9 to 5 or back to your parental duties where the kids are screaming or whatever. It can be very jarring on the nervous system to go from such a smooth place to a place of chaos, upheaval, intensity, power, and transformation. So a healing, smooth connection that is immediately followed by an upheaval. A lot of the time when people get home from the spa or they get home from something very relaxing, a massage or anything, a day off, and you go back to work, you become more acutely aware of what needs to change because slowing things down makes you realize I'm moving too fast. And so you quit your job. I'm just kidding. Maybe you do. But you get the point. It's that smoothness followed by the upheaval that it could actually be that sometimes what's healing. Like I remember coming back from, ayahuasca retreats to South America. And when I get back, like I would have to go through a lot of transformation of my life because of the healing that had been, that had taken place. Good things often come, they are accompanied by difficult things you have to do. 2, these are all just different ideas about what the two transits could mean back to back, so play with them. The second one would be an emotional catharsis. Let's just put it this way. That connection between the sun and Neptune can be illuminating and inspiring, and it is so closely followed by the upheaval, the depth, the intensity, the power, the transformative pop of the sun Pluto that you could look at the whole couple of days as just, broadly speaking, a big emotional catharsis. It's not like other transits in this respect. This is one of only a few days in the calendar year this year that has this kind of back-to-back, very dynamic transits from the sun to outer planets. Number 3 would be the healing, the dying, the regenerating of the father. Now, if you are a dad, this could literally mean that you're getting insight into your parenting, into the nature of how you were raised and how you were parented. So for dads out there, this could be really wonderful, but not totally easy. On the other hand, you could see a sick dad. You could see a grandfather pass away. You could see major karmic transformation around fathers and father figures or leaders or CEOs or anyone who occupies that kind of solar head of state or head of the company or whatever. The healing, dying, and regenerating of the solar figure, the father. Now, this also could be something along the lines of the way in which your father has affected or impacted you as a person, and the psychological patterns connected to your father are going through a process of revision or death or karmic blossoming. If you inherited, addiction from your father on some level, maybe that's not quite the right way of putting it, but you understand what I mean, then this might be a time where you are really seeing the connection between something you're suffering with and something your dad did. Whatever the case may be, watch for paternal karma sort of popping. Also, the healing and regeneration or transformation of paternal karma is really promising. Number 4 is a connection, Sun, Neptune, that leads to a weighty choice. When any planet opposes another planet, it often presents us with two different options. Planet 1 and Planet 2 represent two different worlds, choices, perceptions, plans of action, strategies, outcomes. So here's the smooth, seamless, nice connection followed immediately by a difficult choice. You meet someone, they offer you a job. Ooh, do I stay or do I go with my current job? Right? That kind of thing. Something really fortunate, nice, smooth, easy, exciting, inspiring, followed by weighty choice. Now, a shift of purpose and ambition would be the last one on my list. The sun, broadly speaking, represents the ideals that we aspire toward. We have images that are just sparkling like gold and diamonds in our mind's eye, and we pursue them. We try to attain them, and we think that will make me happy, or that's what I have to figure out. That's what I have to go see about. And I remember, you remember the movie Good Will Hunting? And he skips his therapy appointment at the end. He says, "There's a girl I got to go see about," if I remember correctly. And Robin Williams is delighted because the whole point of much of the therapy was to not pull himself back from his desires out of fear of being wounded as he had in the past, but instead to just go for it. I got to go see about this. Sometimes the sun and Pluto's connections, their oppositions, their squares, is about what we have to go see about, even if it turns out to be painful or difficult, or it's not the long-term thing, it's not the final answer, but you got to go see about it. You got to go check it out. Now, sometimes there might be things that are a little too dark or heavy that we're compelled to do that we really have to say, like take a heroic stand, a moral stand, and say, no, I don't have to go see about heroin, But mostly, I think that the sun opposite Pluto coming off the trine to Neptune could be about what we are inspired to go and try. The outcome is uncertain. We're afraid. We know that there is an initiation that's going to happen through this quest, this mission. We're going to have to meet some dark stuff in the cave. But we got to go see about it. So this transit, this combination could be about a shift of ambition or purpose, a new inspiration that requires a risk, a weighty shift of purpose that leads to a real risk that we have to take. Follow your bliss. I think that's what Joseph Campbell said. It's part of life is that whatever we most want is usually connected to some things that we're really afraid of. So watch for these themes this weekend. I appreciate you all being patient with me as I try to make sure that during one portion of the year, making content 5 days a week happens, but also happens with a little bit more flexible, lighter, energy output on my part so I can rest and recover a little bit, especially with Uranus on my ascendant. Holy crap. This transit has been like, swear to God, it feels like I'm plugged into an electrical outlet. So it's been important for me to kind of take little moments of rest and reprieve. All right. Well, I hope you guys have a good weekend and let me know how things go in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you again Monday.